Hello, Mr. Whitney here. I'm going to be doing a little drawing today. This is an art project you could do with crayons or markers. This is one of those rare occasions where I'm feeling like I want to draw with markers. I need to draw with markers, kind of thing. Don't worry if you don't have markers available. It's totally fine. You can use crayons with this. You can use pencil, whatever feels comfortable with it. Again, I'm going to be using markers. This is going to be cartooning, and in particular, cartooning an alligator today. Why an alligator? Because I just thought it sounded fun and would be cute to do. When you are drawing, I would suggest using a pencil and then coloring over with a marker. As always, when I'm drawing with you, I'm going to draw directly with a marker. And again, if I make a mistake, I've got to own up to it and fix it. Alligator, we're going to start off with two circles, which are going to be the eyeballs. So two circles in there. Again, I've been at this for a while. We'll zoom in here, make sure, whoops, not zoom out, zoom in here, go through. We've got the eyeballs. Then I'm going to draw the alligator's head. Alligators have this kind of bumpiness to their head, and then swooping down there. Whoops, here we go. All right. Then the alligator's got a long snout with, here we go. And I'm going to take that snout and I'm going to bring it back here. This turns out different every time I draw it. Don't be concerned. It's kind of fun to draw him a few different times. Then I'm going to close his mouth down. And today I want to give him this little head. Notice I'm running out of paper here. Totally fine. I will draw him again so you can see what I end up doing with him differently. So cartooning is kind of fun. I'm going to give him a big belly here today because I like the big belly. Go and put a hand down here. Go in, and I get 3 fingers. That's always like my trademark. I like the number 3. And then going to take, and I usually like to put his tail up here. I don't have room for his tail up there, so I need to make adjustments to fit onto the page. I'm going to draw his tail down like this, and then I'm going to draw his legs, and his feet are going to be buried behind. One way of doing it. Then I got my eyeballs. I can go through and I can make him look a little cross-eyed here today. Then I need to give him some teeth for sure. So I'm going to go through, get his teeth hanging out for that alligator. Then I also need to have a belly here with some lines in it. In more details, I could put little spikies on his back, more of a dinosaur or a dragon kind of way of doing it. And I got that hand there, so I'm just going to put it right down around. And then I've got the tail that continues on, so I'm going to put the spikes right down here, all the way down and around. So there's one way of doing him. Another way, I'm going to draw him a little smaller. He's got really crazy eyes here. So I'm going to flip my page here again. If I would have done pencil, I'd have the forgiveness and I'd be able to erase. So once again, I do reiterate, please use pencil. These are characters I'm showing you how to draw. I've done for a while. Draw a little bit smaller. So I'm going to start off with those eyes. And I don't know if you notice my circles have these little dots on them. They've always driven me crazy. And one thing I do is I'll cover it up, putting the dots right there, wherever you start your circle at. So if I draw my eyes, I'll start my circles right here. And then I can put the dots here and cover it up. There's a little trick I've always done. If I start my circle right here, whoops, then I go put my dots in there to cover it up. So it's a little thing you learn when you go through an art, or doing art. So I've got here, I'm going to do the bumpity bump on the head here again. Close it in there. I'm going to turn my paper so I can see it a little bit better. Draw the snout. I like having the bumps on the snout. Bring it back into here. And I can draw the mouth open if I want, which I'm going to do this time. Do a little different. I can draw the mouth open. These curves in there. I'm going to put the teeth in now and let the teeth taper in. Don't like him as well with the mouth open. Again, you could do a combination of the two drawings. Whoops, here we go. Tuning in. And then I'm going to go through. I'm going to get his body. So I'm going to go through, get the protruding belly there. I want to make sure I have a foot this time. I want to make sure I have a foot. I'll put that foot out, and I imagine him having these little spiky feet going in there, looking good. Draw it down. His tail. Oops, I got to get his hand in here. So I like drawing that in one fell swoop. So then his hand's in there. Then his tail, I'm going to make really exaggerated since I didn't get a tail last time. And tapers out and goes back up. The fun thing is then I'm going to turn my paper here. I get those little spikies I'm going to put in here. Put the spikies down, and I have discovered through my old age, the quicker I do these spikes, the better they look. Some of you may want to have them go slower, but I take them all the way back down. Whoops, make it a little funky if we go there, but that's okay. You can still recover from it. I'm going to draw on his belly. And then I go back through, and I like this to be closed up into there. So that's what we do. Oops, I need another foot. I can draw this right here. I'm going to put this foot facing that way, just like such. Go through, and if I want to, I can put another hand. Put a hand up there. I think it'll take away from my drawing. So here we go. There's another alligator, and we're going to go through. I'm going to go through and do one more time. This time I'm going to grab my green. Actually, I'm going to do a variety of colors here. So taking colors, here's one thing that's nice. If you pencil it in, you can go through and do colors. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to take, and I want him to have red eyes. So I'm going to start off with red eyes. And capping those in, he's looking straight forward, got those red eyes in there. Then the body of him, I really think should be green. So then I'm going to grab my green, and I'm going to lump this right in here, cap it off. Take his snout. He's going to be a little bit more short snouted. In here, bring it back, take his mouth in, and curve off. Take ownership, make it your own. Doesn't have to look exactly like mine. This time, this one's going to be a little bit thinner of an alligator. He doesn't have as much food source available to him. Take those hands, put it in there. I'm going to cap this off right now in here because I want to just make sure. Really keep that slimness to him. Into there, take down to his feet. His feet, take me back to childhood. I'm going to draw his tail, again, skinny tail, back through. Got that going. Take and turn. I like doing my spikes. I'm going to get my spikes in here. On him or his texture like a lizard. This one I want to make sure I draw on a snout, draw on those nose things. I don't always do that. There's a couple of different ways you could go back through and do that. And then I want to have the belly be yellow. So I'm going to grab the yellow because markers bleed. And if you're watching me color, I'm getting right up to the other color so it doesn't bleed in. That's a little trick you learn. And I'll show kids over and over again. They'll scribble and it bleeds on in. And I'm like, oh. So then I'm going to take out the black. Black is only going to be used for the teeth this time. I'm going to strike those teeth up here, down. And he's got quite the overbite going here. So get the teeth, and I'm going to take and just do light little lines for the texture on the belly. I was worried that wasn't going to be dry and it was going to bleed through. Totally fine here. This time, the way he's standing, I'm going to put this other foot back here like such. He's going to stand in a weird position like he may be lost or trying to figure out where he's going. Into there. Other ways to do the snout. So there's the alligator, and of course, before I move on here, putting in a background of some sort, filling in a background for your cartoon. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to put some water in here, the blue, and then I want to have this water simulated here, and I think it's be kind of funny. So a cartoon, I'm going to put him on just a little piece of island here. So I'm going to draw this in right here with the brown, and take, and he's on this little piece of land with the water going right up there to him. And so he's looking out to something in the horizon. He's out there on this island on his own, which makes it funny because alligators can swim, but that kind of makes him look stranded. If I would have drawn this at an angle, I could put something in the background. I could even grab here. I got my little whiteboard behind me, so we can go through and I could draw in the background if I wanted to. I'll draw over here. I'm going to draw just this little bird here looking at him, and he's looking at this little bird here. I'm going to put little legs on the bird. And that bird is going to have a big steak. So I'm implying that's my steak there. It might look a little crazy here. So the bird's got a little steak. He's eyeing over at it. So kind of fun. Have fun with it. That's the whole thing about making a cartoon is you can be silly as you want with it, as serious as you want with it. It's all your own. I like having my heads more exaggerated, bigger head thing. So I wanted to come back to this one, show you different ways of doing the snout. So the snout on here, I could just do these two little half circles onto the snout. Really matches up with his looking up in the air there. I could also, you could add eyelashes if you want to get more of a feminine look. Not that boys don't have eyelashes. That kind of gives it more of a girly kind of look to it. I'll flip back to my original one here. Maybe I will. Okay, so my original one here. This one I think would be kind of fun to throw the eyelashes on too. So I'm going to really do these exaggerated eyelashes, which again gives that kind of that girly look. And not saying that boys don't have eyelashes, but really girly that. And then put a little red down here on the lips again. Little girls don't typically wear lipstick, but there we go, getting that in there. And just implying that she's got some on the bottom, really making her look a little feminine. And then I can add a hand in here. Throw a hand out. I'm really going to go for home. And she's going to have in her hand, if I can fit it in there, try my hardest to get the stem. Put this little stem out here. And one of my favorite things to draw, a nice little pink flower. Really cram that in there, put a little yellow on the flower. So again, I just went back to my drawing, had a little couple details. So we go from the first one, added in some details. This one I just put in the snout, and he's looking up at eyeballs, pretty funny in there, going through. And down to the last one that I did with colors. Again, please start off with pencil. This comes from practice. I draw it all the time. You can see something even though I draw all the time. I still goofed up on using the markers directly so you can see it on screen. I look forward to seeing your artwork. Please share it with your teachers. Please feel free to share it with me as well. Always get a kick out of it. Have a great day. Happy drawing.